welcome to Sporting Jibberish Live. I'm Stu Booth.
I'm Jack Luffman.
Big event today. It's our 1 year anniversary, slightly belated.
Yeah, whose fault was that?
Ian's. If you every now and again you may hear some noises from behind us. We do have the lovely Ian Larkin with us today, and also you get some woo woo and the very sweaty mess, Matty Oldred.
And we're obviously live at the Radisson Red Hotel at the pool bar on the 6th floor. We'll go for a dip a bit later. It is warm. About 35, 36 degrees here this morning at about 10 o'clock. So it's a bit sweaty, let's say.
Yes. Right, okay, on today's show, we've got lots coming up. We're going to be looking at sporting performances, interviews from over the last 12 months. We've got questions from near and far, so people from all around the globe have been dropping us some questions. We'll come up with them. We're also going to have Matty Oldred going live. Lifeguard is going to be popping in and out every now and again. He said he's going to come and sing us a song, I think, maybe. I'm not sure. If you see him, just wave.
Is Pamela here?
Yeah, if only. That's our closest to Pamela we could get. And we're also going to be bringing Ian Larkin in for a fancy football special.
Oh, special. He loves a special.
He loves a special. Okay, we're going to start off with sporting performance of the season. So
I'm looking forward to this.
Jack is going to start. So we did discuss this beforehand. We were debating which one was his best duck. But according to Jack, he reckons he's got a couple of 50s. But
I only had one duck. It was a golden duck. I'll give you that. My best performance would have been just before Christmas when we chased down just about 200, I think, against Middle East Metals. We're the reigning champions and have won both the leagues since then. And I just chipped in a little 90-something, 91 not out, Stu. So very good, very enjoyable knock. Big partnership with Clint in that middle innings to what was at that time probably Exiles' best ever win.
So did you not get a call up after them? Because I believe they offer a little bit of cash.
Middle East, yeah. I just turned it down.
You're such a liar.
I'm off for the badge.
Whose badge is that?
We'll see soon, won't we?
Yeah, okay, all for the badge. Yeah, interesting.
But yeah, that was my thing. And a couple of other 50s, but team performance, we did okay, really, to be fair. What about you, Stu? You had loads, didn't you?
Yeah, leading goal scorer, 2 seasons running. I don't know where to start, really. I think personal performance, I'm going to go back to City FC under-18s. Played centre-back first half, losing 1-0, I think, at half-time. Something up front second half, scored 4.
Oh,
it's actually the footage that people have seen. If you shut this down thinking, how good was this goal? Click on Twitter, click on Instagram. The video is there for all to see.
I'm sure you can repost it again, wouldn't you? I mean, why not?
Well, yeah. At least we could do a highlights reel on my season. I'm not sure about yours. That's the only issue.
So my innings lasted quite long. So.
Yeah. What were we doing? You're fielding.
I did all right in the field, actually. I took some blinders this year, to be fair.
Okay. Enough about us. Let's talk about who the people we've interviewed this year.
Yeah.
Who was your favourite interview?
In the Talks 2 series, I think there's a couple that stand out. I enjoyed doing the live ones with conjunction with the panel list. Obviously, Kirk Hilton, the ex-Man United one, was really good. And probably some of the stories he told us afterwards when we was having I'll introduce it to it better. But we kept it family friendly, so I enjoyed that. But also, I think we spoke about this. Mel Cooper, the
ultra marathon runner,
who basically started off by doing the couch to 5K kind of challenge, which is quite popular. And then all of a sudden, I think it's about a year, 18 months, she's doing 100-mile marathons and 72-hour marathons, whatever. And it was fascinating to see how it changed her career, because now she's not a PE teacher in Dubai. She's now living, I believe, in Spain, isn't she?
Yeah, she's training. I think she's training Tenerife. Yeah,
that's right. Now, full-time ultramarathon runner. And since then, obviously, I think we're all following each other. Kind of thing. Some of the things she does and she's been able to do during lockdown over the UK has been really impressive. So I found that really interesting. It's completely different to anything.
Yeah, I tell you, the best bit of that story that she told us was the first ultramarathon she did. I think it was in Austria, and she wasn't considered an elite level athlete. So she had to start with all the other non-elite runners at the back. So she was 500 people down before she started the race and finished 4th, I think, in that race.
So that's a bit like that. You can imagine like the London Marathon back in the day when you're having to be amongst like Scooby-Doo and
she did have 11 hours to catch up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, she did really well there. But yeah, really good one. For myself, I think my favourite one, it was one that's close to home. So I did really enjoy Jez George's interview, and from all accounts, is that severity that Jez actually does any interviews.
Well, it's funny because I think we might be able to get him back on again after the playoff.
All right, so it's a bit of a scoop there. But my favourite one goes to Chris Ward.
Oh, the first one we did.
Yeah, the first one we did. I think really basically from home, and I think it gives people that little insight into how quick you can do well in football, but then how quickly it can be taken away. So for people that don't know, Wardy, we played together at college and at county level. He then subsequently signed for Lancaster City, had a great season with them, and then signed for Birmingham City. Was there for 2 years, and then made his way back down via Lincoln City, linked with you, and is now a science teacher. So that all happened probably in the space of 5 or 6 seasons. So how quick you can rise up to the championship level, and could have been, if you registered in time, played in the championship semi-final against his home team, North End. I could have even made it to the Premiership. But then also to find out the friendships he made with AJ, Andy Johnson, and they both got to the pivotal points of their career. AJ went off to Crystal Palace and then had a successful career into England International. Wardy went to Lincoln City. Everything,
the mighty Hibs.
Everything happens for a reason. So yeah, that was really good. But yeah, I really enjoyed all the interviews we had so far.
Some good stories came out. Thinking about talking about Hawks, Matt Hopkins, about 250 odd Football League appearances, and the time they wanted to cut his beautiful blonde locks. And he went armed with his football boots on his hands, and he never got to the media, but took out Glenn Hodges or something. For the season because he had damaged his eye socket with a stud. Longy, the cricket agent, now all of a sudden from nothing, and now he's got at the time the Pakistan captain on his books. We've had some really good things from nowhere, really. Yeah,
I look forward to it. We're going to look at launching that again in the next couple of weeks.
We've got a bit more time.
Yeah, we've got an interesting one coming up, haven't we? But we'll not mention it, but we'll just say boxing.
Boxing,
no, it's not AJ and it's not Tyson Fury, but it's as good as.
Yes.
Well, that leads us nicely on to the next section, which is questions from near and far.
I've got no idea this.
Yes, so for people at home, I've had a list of questions, so I've prepared a few answers. Some of them are directly aimed at Jack, and some are for both of us. So the first question, and I'm not going to say who this has come from, the first question is, who is our favourite dingle? Debbie Dingle. I've no idea who Debbie Dingle is. No.
Double D.
So I had a little look at the family tree, and Sam Dingle has some resemblance of Matt Aldred and Ian Larkin if they had a love child. So there's a slight resemblance there. But I've actually picked Tina Dingle. Okay, yeah. Matthew knows who Tina Dingle is. Simple reason being is that when I was out in America working with a lad called George, he actually had a meeting with Tina offset.
Oh, did you?
That is a story that I will tell the guys later on. But yeah, for that reason alone, I picked Tina Dingle. But I wasn't sure if it was Emmerdale or if it was who is our favourite Burnley player. So I just went with Nick Pope.
Chris Wood.
I was
big Schnecker.
I was going to go with Phil Bardsley.
He's dreadful.
Just simply because he knocked Wayne Rooney out.
Oh, well, yeah.
So that was the next one. Next question, again, another slightly strange, not sport-related one. Favourite singer? Is it Barry from EastEnders or David Hasselhoff? Okay, while you have a little think about that, I've decided that it's very much about the backing singers.
Right.
If Barry's come along with Pat Butcher, I'm ruling him out completely. If Hasselhoff turns up with Pam,
the earrings.
If he turns up with Pam, Hasselhoff's in every week.
Yasmin Bleeth.
Well, I'm going in. So for my choice, I'm going with David.
I'm going with Barry from EastEnders because a friend of mine at university, Stevie Gallagher, his dad is friends with Barry. I can't think of his real name, but he's friends with Barry from EastEnders. So, and he does actually sing at family parties and stuff like that. So I'm going with Barry from EastEnders.
Okay.
And he never chucked her off the cliff, did he?
Well, rumour has it. Right, okay. The final question from this person is a very, very strange one. So I've done a little bit
stranger than those two.
It does.
I've got a feeling I know these from, actually.
Yeah. Question is, will they ever lift the ban on Boscombe Cliff Bowling Club? The drinking ban. Okay. So I've done a little bit of research into this. So due to current COVID restrictions, you can only have 24 on the actual rink to play. Okay. So they are actually allowing people back in the Boscombe on the bowling club. On the bowling green. The cafe is open, but no alcohol. Okay, this is due to an incident that happened with Sue Dadson and a petrol lawnmower.
Sue?
Meaning she had to miss the finals day with a freak injury. last year. Okay, so from that point onwards, Sue, alcohol, and a petrol lawnmower don't go well together. And since that point, Boscombe have had a drinking ban put in place.
On everybody?
On everybody. Yeah. But interestingly enough, is they are actually having an open day on the 30th of May. So if you find yourself in the Boscombe region, pop down and say hello.
Don't take any alcohol.
Yeah, no alcohol.
Will they ever left? I don't think so. It sounds like an incident that they've drawn a line, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm worried about Sue Dadson if she's ever going to make it back from that incident.
Yeah, we should have to get a bias right again.
Well, we'll see. So yeah, we're hoping that the ban will be lifted at some point.
Good luck on your open day.
Yes, yeah. Everybody in that area, pop down and say hello. Best ever sports films. Obviously, this person isn't a listener of our show because we have done this. Thank you, Matthew.
Something like Matthew. Listen.
So whilst you reminisce about your films, I've got my couple in here. I've gone with the standard Coach Carter.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans.
Yeah, classic.
And then I believe there's a new one coming out. It's called I Know What You Did Last Boscombe Cliff. It's due out soon, featuring the one and only Sue Dadson.
Playing herself.
She's in there with a lawnmower.
I wonder if he's playing like the chairman of the Bowls Club.
I have no idea.
You could cast him as well.
Maybe Barry from EastEnders.
Jason Statham, maybe?
Jason Statham.
So I agree with those two. I like those two. Cool Runnings is my favourite. I like the field. Any of them. Very good. You can't look beyond. Remember the Tides, you can't look beyond that, I think. Cool Runnings. Eddie the Eagle's a bit of a left field one, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And what about Mean Machine?
Yeah.
Big Vinny.
Yeah.
Big Vinny. Yeah. So
I think I prefer the original Mean Machine.
Yeah.
Right. This next question is directly to you, Jack. How have Spurs not won a trophy in your lifetime?
Well, actually, I know.
And he said, it is not. You're not allowed to use the Audi trophy as a.
I did see this question on social media, Henry. So I've made some notes, young man.
Oh dear.
I did see this one. So in my lifetime, Henry, Spurs have won the 1981 FA Cup. I was 3 months old. The 1982 FA Cup. The 1991 FA Cup. The 1999 League Cup. The 2008 League Cup. And the 1984 UEFA Cup. So my maths is 6 trophies in my lifetime. Not for a long time, I'll grant you that. In your lifetime, Henry, Arsenal have won the 2002 League Cup, the league in 2002 and in 2004, and the FA Cup on 6 occasions. So 8. So it's only 8-6. So there you go.
Are you getting on this? What? No,
we're not talking about this season.
No, this is
20.
we need to check Jack's date of birth as well.
81.
I'm pretty sure you were older than 3 months old when you first won the cup. There's dubious questions about that.
February. I was born February 81 and the FA Cup in May 81.
Right.
4 months.
Okay, next question comes from Matt Behan.
Oh, God.
Okay, Hall of Fame. Obviously, there's a big article at the moment. Sky's supposed to do this Hall of Fame. Thierry Henry and Alan Shearer have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Okay, so there is a list of players that have now been nominees.
Yeah.
Okay, so Matt has asked us to pick 6 each. We're not going to pick 6 each.
No.
We're just going to pick a couple each. Okay, but then he's put restrictions in.
Right.
His restrictions are they must have won the league.
But Shearer never. Oh, he did win the league in fact.
He did. So at this second in time, I'll just quickly run through the list. You've got Tony Adams, David Beckham, Dennis Bergkamp, Sol Campbell, Eric Cantona, Andy Cole, Ashley Cole, Didier Drogba, Les Ferdinand, Rio Ferdinand, Robbie Fowler can't be counted. Steven Gerrard can't be counted. Roy Keane, Frank Lampard, Matt Letizia can't be counted. Michael Owen, Peter Schmeichel, Paul Scholes, John Terry, Robin Van Persie, Vidic, Vieira, and Ian Wright.
Okay, so
let's just pick 2 out there. I'm telling you, I'm going to rule out Ian Wright straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Because he was just a good Premier League striker. All right, yes, he did.
I don't agree with not having to win the league actually, but we'll go with the parameters.
Yeah. So I'm ruling out Ian Wright. So for me, I think I'm going to go with Patrick Vieira.
Yeah.
Because I think at the time there was no better centre midfielder, and what he did for Arsenal and dragged them through was next level. I'm not going to rule in Tony Adams just because I think he was towards the end of his career.
We were watching them Premier League years of the day. Right?
That was a great volley.
I said he's coming.
So I am going to go with Patrick Vieira, and I think I'm going to go with. I'm definitely not putting Andy Cole in there. Andy Cole's not making it in. So I'm going to go with potentially the best keeper we've seen in the Premiership, Peter Schmeichel.
I think that I think I'm going to go with Ashley Cole because I think we talked before about it. I think he's the best left back that's ever played in the Premiership. Some of his off-field things and the fact he dunked Britain Sweetheart at the time, I think, overshadowed what he did on the football pitch. Won titles at 2 clubs, and then obviously went on to be successful abroad.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going Ashley Cole. Trick one. Because you see, I know he's not on the league, but I would have put somebody like Gerald or Letitia in because of what they achieved at their clubs.
Yeah. That's Matt Bean because he just hates he hates Liverpool.
Yeah, he does. The other one I think would have to be Frank Lampard because the amount of goals he scored from midfield, and he was a genuine midfield player. He's not like some of these midfield players that are now turned into the 10s or fake 9s or whatever. He was a genuine box-to-box midfield player, and he Chelsea's leading ever scored. So, unfortunately, 2 Chelsea players, but Ashley Cole and Frank Lampard.
No, well, you could argue there's an Arsenal player in there.
No,
Arsenal player in there. Okay, right. Next question comes from Anonymous. Most famous person, I think it might be in Joe Boom actually. Most famous person you have met?
Me, the Vatican Paul Gascoigne.
Oh, yes, right, Shadow.
When I did this brief interview with him, when he signed for Bosch United in the early 2000s, which obviously we talked about in all the shows. He's probably the most famous and the one that probably even non-sport fans would have heard of. Other than that, I've been lucky enough to sort of meet and play with. And the other guy I think I met fairly recently, in the last 5 years, who, I don't know, maybe in awe of him a little bit, was Kumar Sangakkara. So I managed to meet him when he was playing for Surrey when we had Malinga throwing for the ball. We went down to see him in Northampton, and actually we were lucky because it was raining, so the game was delayed. So we actually met at Surrey's team hotel, and actually had sort of half an hour, 45 minutes, having a coffee with him. So yeah, Gascoigne, Sangakkara, and Pete.
Good. Right. So I worked with a genuinely nice guy. We bumped into him in the Jumeirah Beach Hotel, walking through, just walked right across us. Called him to see if we could take a picture, and what a lovely gentleman. He actually ended his phone call. We get a picture taken with him, checked that we were happy with the photographs, made sure we were okay, and then he okay, thank you, and then he carried on his way. It was Rio Ferdinand. Really nice. But then one for you, Jack, that I met, had a conversation with, cricket legend, the one and only Brian Lara. Fortunate enough to meet him.
That was my first year, and I didn't make it.
Yes,
I was playing myself.
Yeah. So yeah,
should have scored.
Yeah, should have done. Especially what's going on now. So yeah, for me, Rio Ferdinand, absolute gentleman, and Brian Lara was a nice guy, and obviously Dwight York was main topic of conversation, and also has bad press, but is also genuinely a nice fellow when you speak to him. Next question: best moment or sporting moment you've witnessed in sport, live or on the TV? So while you have a think about this, I picked 2 out. I've gone with Liverpool versus AC Milan in the Champions League final, being 3-0 down and coming back and winning that game. And then for my best ever moment was Leicester City versus Watford FC, where Knockout misses a penalty. Watford break down, Troy Deeney bags a goal that sends Watford through and promoted them to Premiership.
Probably the one thing live, and it wasn't overly exciting or massive, but I was actually in when England went and won the Ashes in Australia in 2010, 2011. I was actually in the MCG the day they won it. I flew out Christmas Day night, Boxing Day morning, and got there for the last 2 days. So that was really good because then obviously you go on the source with the Barmy Army into Melbourne. So that was really good. Although it was inevitable, that was a really good moment. The other one I think on television would probably be watching Stokes or the World Cup final cricket was really good.
Right, we have actually changed angle, ready for our first guest today, only because it's nothing to do with the size of him. Just wanted to change the angle up and give you a little bit of a look at the view of the Radisson Red. I'd like to welcome Mr. Matthew Aldridge.
Cheers, lads. How are we?
You look cool.
I do. I'm absolutely melting.
He's having to pronounce words now.
Go and enunciate.
Okay, right. So we set you to the task. I've set you to the task of picking your England Euro, not a squad because you can pick 26 in 2 weeks' time. So I've asked you to pick your start 11 for the first game with like a cover for each position. So you're going to have 15, 16. Now we're not going to go through 30 names. We're going to go through. I want first of all just a summary of why you've chosen your system and the kind of players you're in it, and then we'll go through the team. Does that make sense?
Systems? What system?
Let Stu go first.
Yeah,
Ease you
yeah,
into it so you can copy it.
Okay, you just copy me.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Stu.
So I've gone with a 4-3-3 formation.
Okay.
We've decided that England are technically not as advanced as other nations, so we are not aiming to keep the ball. We're aiming to move the ball forward as quickly as possible, be fluid in motion, and create opportunities with attacking prowess.
Brilliant. Because I believe you, because our strength is going forward, clearly. So you're going to back that.
Yeah. So what I've gone with is a better defensive 4 with a cover, so 5. So basically, we're just going to go goalkeeper, 5 defenders, 5 attackers. Let's go for it.
Win 4-3, win the Euros.
That's right.
Right, Matt, what about yours?
Well, controversially, I slightly agree with you there.
Well, there's a shock, Switzerland.
Well, I've gone 4 at the back, 4-5-1. I think the strength is with who I've selected up front is getting the ball into him from wide areas. I completely agree. I don't think England are as advanced enough to play the 3 at the back that he keeps playing.
Bringing Andy Carroll back.
Yeah, no,
Andy Cole,
Shearer style. No, I like 4 at the back. I like 2 strong fullbacks that can go forward, but can support and 2 good wingers that can work together. That's the reason I picked my players.
Okay, right. So let's go then. So goalkeepers then.
I've gone with Pickford.
Pickford.
Yeah, I've gone Pickford. It was going to be Henderson. It was going to be Henderson, but Pickford doesn't do much wrong for England, and I don't think you can drop him based on Everton performances.
I think that's all right.
I think it's just experience of competitions.
I think probably you've both gone with Pope understudy, or you're Henderson.
I've got Henderson, yeah.
I've gone Henderson. I've dropped Pope just purely because his distribution is just not of international class. I think goalkeeping wise is as good as the other 2. But when I looked at the Man City game the other night, where Ederson's pinged that ball to Zinchenko to score against PSG, Pope's not going to have his locker. He's really going to cause us loads of problems with that.
And they're with the free keepers. They're the free keepers.
Yeah.
Right, back 4, Stu. Go quickly.
Walker right back, Maguire, Stones, Shaw.
Yeah, I think that's a big standard. Go on, Matt.
Yeah, I've gone Shaw left back, Stones, Maguire, Trippier.
Right, so why have you got Trippier over Walker? And also, incidentally, Trippier over all the other right backs.
Trippier, I think he's been there, done it. I know Walker has as well, but because of the backup system you asked us to choose, I would prefer Walker as a backup centre half rather than a backup right back, which allows me to have Trent as my backup right back. Okay. So I was trying to jigsaw it so that I could have Trent, Trippier and Walker, hence the reason. But I do think his distribution, the balls in the box, the free kicks he's got in his locker, that is not what Walker's got. Walker's better defensively, but I think.
Fair point. You've gone with Walker for
Walker because basically if we went with Trent or Trippier when we play against anybody that's half decent, they've got a quick winger, they're going to get found out. Walker's got a recovery pace that's going to help him out. We watched the other night against PSG, every time Neymar did a drop shoulder and got past him, within half a second Walker's back round in front of him, so people just can't get away from him.
Okay, so what's your backup right back?
So my backup right, I went with Trent, just simply because I think he gives us a lot. If we need to get a goal and we need to chuck somebody down that's going to deliver, his delivery of crosses is far superior than Trippier's.
And centre off, so you've gone.
I've gone Stones because he's had such a great season, and Maguire, love him or hate him, I think he is probably the best centre half England have got.
And then you've got Walker backup.
Oh, sorry, Walker and Connor Cody.
Oh,
yeah.
So I'm going to throw this one in there. I've gone Dyer because of his experience, but also can just drop into centre midfield if we need to. And I'm going to throw this one out there, Ben White.
from Brighton?
Yes.
As a left back?
No, he plays, well at the moment he's played centre defensive midfield, and he also played right of the centre backs. And watch this kid can play football.
Is he the lad that got sent off, gave a penalty away and scored no goal in the same game?
Yeah,
a few weeks ago he definitely did.
Yeah.
What about backup left back? It's interesting. There will be a left field choice always.
Chilwell.
Chilwell for back. Yeah. There's no other left backs really.
Okay, so now you're going.
So my 5 in midfield. You want me to
go
first this time?
Midfield,
right, 3 in the middle. I think it's England's by far the strongest department in the midfield. Foden, for me, starts as one of the attacking 3 in the middle. Yeah. Mason Mount, not really rated him all season, but the last sort of
you don't rate Mason Mount?
No, I haven't done. But now I do. I think the last couple of months is really.
Is that because Gary Neville said he?
No. Well, it comes into it. But I think the fact that Lampard picked him in his position for so long and he got a bit of stick for it, and now the new guy coming in picked him. He basically helped him really massively get to the Champions League final for Chelsea. I think they would work really well together. Two young lads. But then I've gone Henderson for that bit of balance of experience over raw young talent.
In the middle three.
So yeah, Henderson.
I like your attacking thing. Where you wide man?
Well, I've gone, and this was really difficult, Sterling on the left and Rashford on the right.
Okay, so you're not looking at Sancho or anything like that?
Maybe he might become as a backup later on.
You're going, because you're playing as a 5 in midfield though.
5 in the midfield.
Not these inverted wingers.
No,
like
because I've got the 4 at the back, and I can have the wingers as well as the full
so you're
backs.
just going to get chalk on the boots. So.
Yeah.
Pretty much choking the boots or get pinned in.
Yeah.
So you're literally just relying on one to forward.
Going out and out.
You don't need any more.
You're not going out now. You've got 5 midfield.
So-
But I've got Foden and I've got Mount to support my one up front. Who it's not going to come as any surprise if it is, but I won't. I'm going to be the surprise.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So
you're going to play 3 tight.
I've got 3 tight midfields. I've got Rice as the holding, who's just going to be the defensive cover to stop that. As much as Ray Henderson, Rice is a better player in that position. And then I've got Mason Mount and Foden as my 2 ball players moving forward. And then on one wing, I've got Rashford, and on the other wing, I've got Sterling.
Okay, and then both of you, I assume, have got the main man up front.
Okay.
And Calvin.
Yeah. And that's what he wanted, didn't he?
Yeah. Alan Shearer. Yeah, I've got Kane up front.
Okay. So, similar systems, but you're playing 5 while you're going to go with what lots of clubs are playing these inverted wingers.
Yeah, and
because those two can chop and challenge.
it makes sense to play the same systems that the Premiership teams are playing. So every Premiership club plays the same formation. Practically in that top 6, they all play 4-3-3. So why change the shape of your team slightly to play something slightly different when players don't have enough training time to adapt to a new shape?
Yeah, I see it, but I like the fact though that the wingers can work with the full-backs in my system a little bit more. And like you said, the cover, if you've got a big player coming forward, the wingers can support with those full-backs. So you don't need that worry about Walker being there just for a defensive midfielder.
Interesting. I do like the fact that we're going attacking because we've got to do that.
I want to
where you bet your backups.
Yeah, your backups.
You just list them. We don't have to go position. Who have you got?
Rice was going to start for me, but I wanted the balance of experience over, youth. I've got Grealish for Foden, Lingard because the season he's had since he's going to West Ham, and obviously it's Jay's cousin.
Oh yeah,
And,
he's Jay's cousin.
And I've gone Calvert-Lewin as my backup forward.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right. So I've got Henderson as backup, Grealish, Jude Bellingham.
Bellingham, yeah. From
In there, lots and lots of ability, needs to be blooded at some point. Lingard's in there, Sancho's in there, and my backup striker. A little bit of controversy here. Bring back Vardy.
I wanted to put him in.
Or if I can't get Vardy to come out of retirement, I'm going Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, and obviously we're not picking 26 as we want to go. I'm with you though. I know there's a talk about how strong we are forward, but as a centre forward, Kane and the rest are way off him, in my opinion. Like Calvert-Lewin, way off him. Even Watkins, way off him. So yeah, going with that, trying to get him with a bit of experience, because you know he's going to get a goal.
Yeah, I think the problem is with Vardy at the moment with Leicester City is that they're not playing to his strengths, and he needs to get the ball forward quickly. You watch Leicester, they build it up so slowly now, as if they're a possession-based team, and that's killing Vardy's season. At the beginning of the season, when they moved the ball forward quickly, the guy was scoring points left, right, and centre. Wasn't he for fancy football, Mr. Larkin?
Yeah, you're dead right, because that was always the fear when Rodgers first went, wasn't it? That left was maybe not playing the style. I like your idea though of work with, because one thing I get frustrated with watching Spurs is they don't get the ball into the box quick enough, and Kane is as good as in there as there is. So, but with your lack of support for him, you're going to have to get it in the box. It's going to be pinpoint, isn't it?
Yeah, see, in an ideal world, it goes to Kane, he pops it off, Foden, Mount on the edge of the box, they ping it in. That's my
Ping
dream.
it into who? Because you're going to two guys touching the touchline.
To the back of the net. That's what I'm dreaming of.
So Kane gets the ball back to goal, sets it into Mason Mount, who then looks for a pass that's 20 yards wider because you've got your two wingers wide.
He just puts it top corner.
Well, we'll put these out on the video and on social media, these teams, see what you think. Quickly before we go, where are England going to go? How far are they going to go?
I think they'll get to the final, but I don't think they'll win it.
Okay.
That's right out there.
If they get to the quarters, it'd be a good cut to
We'll see what happens. Thank you very much, Matt.
Cheers,
Thanks for your
chaps.
contribution.
No worries, thanks very much.
Excellent. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah.
Okay, next in the hot seat, resident fantasy football expert.
What's this puddle on it? Oh, melting, lads, melting. Great to be here on your centenary of Jubilee. Even better to have this man back. Lovely, what an honour.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad that we're sat next to each other, because even though I was looking grey the other day, sat next to you makes me look like I'm a son of God.
That's why a lot of listeners have been asked about why I always wear a hat. I've got a terrible hairline. So,
Nothing wrong with terrible hairline.
Yeah, I'm very grateful to have Stu here for Modern Medicine for bringing him back.
And thanks for your contribution over the year. And also, you've obviously stood in on 2 occasions.
Yeah, honestly, mate, a lot of people think I know nothing about football. There's a lot of preparation that goes into my segment. So, yeah,
So,
nice.
well, so
Stu.
fancy football. So what I've asked you to do is have a little look at potentially our mainstays, who is our players that we're definitely going to put in for next season, who are our guaranteed guys, but then also who have been our surprise packages this year that have popped up. So I've listed a few. So I've got a few here, and then we can talk about them. And you can also see if you've got the same.
It'd be interesting, yeah. Go on.
So for striker, I've gone with Bamford being the shock surprise this year that's got shed loads of points where people did question mark if he was able to step up to Premiership.
Can I say though, not for me, because he was in day one.
Yeah,
he was in day one and he stayed there, mate. I got in early when he was nice and cheap, 5.5. I knew that's Billy.
Oh, you are the one. You are the one.
Go on.
The next one,
I would agree.
It has to be Gabby Logan.
Yes, yeah. Do you know what? You are right. Gabby Logan has done very well. Do you know, he would have had an even better season. But Pep, as you know, absolutely stitched us. So yeah, I think he probably could have been player of the season if it weren't for Pep stitching him.
Yeah, a couple of others. I've got a few more here. Another midfielder who ended up playing more like an attacker was Pereira from West Bromwich Albion.
Okay.
A little Brazilian lad. Came in with a fair few points this year, so I stuck him as a potential surprise package.
See, I went from a man, again, Leeds link, went for a man, the cowboy himself, Dallas. Because he's down as a defender, but he's been playing midfield all year. And honestly, he's been world class. World class. I'm sure he's going to get a call up for the United States soon.
I've actually got him down as my next player.
Have you? Your defender?
My next player, because Piero was my last midfielder, then my defender was Dallas.
Yeah.
And then another guy that you recommended on the show, Cresswell.
Yes. Yeah.
I had him for a while, and then he got injured, and he's just back, and I noticed he got injured again midweek.
Yeah.
He's done well. He wouldn't be far away from the England side, actually, if he kept fit, I think.
Yeah.
So, what about in net then?
Well, I've gone with Martinez from last year.
I have put him down as well, and obviously the Leeds keeper as well.
Yeah.
Again, I've just got
the 12-year-old.
The 12-year-old that's got the deepest voice. Have you ever heard it? So you need to get a clip of him when he's shouting at people, because he looks like he's 12 years old. Looks like Matty Aldred when he's had a shave. And then suddenly he speaks. He's like, "Get out!" You're like, "Where's this voice come from?"
Well, it's definitely not Yorkshire.
He's a dirty old man from in the back of the net.
Not from Oakley Moor.
So mate. Keepers are Martinez and Meslier, is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Meslier, or Messi, Lionel. He, I think they are the top 2 keepers to pick from, but also I think they're like top 5 or top 6 for value and points and stuff. So always get it right at the back, lads.
Yeah.
The rest take care.
Have I missed anybody on that list? Is there any other surprise ones that you?
No, but you basically named all the Leeds teammates. That's all I've done, to be fair, mate. So you've got standouts, I think. Yeah, mate, you listened to my tips wisely, so just
well, obviously not, because I'm still in 60th place.
I'm on the
to be fair,
I didn't realise it was 5-9 games.
Excuses, mate.
I'm busy entertaining.
Business end, you've got to be on it. I've had a shocker the last 2 weeks, to be fair, but it's an absolute shocker. But I'm coming out of the hole now, thank God.
Awesome, right? So, have you got any guys that you're thinking next year? So you've got to get these people in.
So what I've done, boys, obviously I've had the scouting team out doing my reports. And
Mike Phelan.
Yeah, she's been out, mate. Obviously, she's got paternity leave. She's got a bit of time on her hands now. So obviously, you want to get a bit of value. You want to get a bit of early jam, don't you? So what you want to look at is the lad from Watford, Ismail Sarr. Okay. All right, that lad doesn't need a waiter to bring his food to the table. He hunts his food, kills his food. He does it all himself, lads. Honestly, so he's going to be cheap. So he's one maybe to get in as a little smoky on your bench early doors. But also, you might remember from 2 seasons ago, the man, my namesake, Timo Emo Pookie. Okay, all right. He has Delia Smith salivated. But I think he scored something like 25 goals in 30 odd games today.
But he did well in the Premiership, didn't he, to start with? And then kind of drifted off. Then it looked like they were going to sell him, and then they didn't play him.
Don't get me wrong, you don't have to keep him in the Pillars. Do you know what I mean? Just get him in early dours. He'll be good for a bit of jam again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it might be worth a punt on those.
And obviously have a look at if Brentford.
Yes.
Brentford win it.
Tony.
Ivan Toney, Peter Ballard. I think you'll see him in the Premiership either way next year.
Yeah.
31 goals.
So an interesting one. They might be coming back to Premiership. They might be going to Watford. Ashley Young, would you touch him?
In what way?
Well, this is a family-friendly show, Mr. Harkin.
No, Ashley Young, I don't know, to be fair. It depends how much, mate, honestly. I mean, if he was coming in around the 5.5 mil, perhaps probably guaranteed to play every week.
Yeah, that's the other.
Assists as well. But midfielder, how clean a Watford sheet's going to be. Respectfully, Ben Foster.
Yeah.
The cycling man.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
a GK.
Perfect. Just one question for me. You stood in for Stuart on 2 occasions. Highlights from those 2 shows for you?
Well, I thought I definitely grew into the role. It's not as easy as it looks, I will say. Obviously, big shoes to fill. Highlights, probably when you asked me who I thought was going to be in the top 4, and I could remember 2 football teams, pros. Nearly said Wednesday and Athletic. But yeah, probably that. Otherwise,
Yeah, really well. Thanks for your time.
Boys, thank you very
friend.
much, and congratulations, lads. Well done.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Thank you.
Get in the pool.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about done, Stuart, are we not?
Yes, we are. Just a little bit of information about what might be happening in the future, Jack.
Yeah, so we've got, hopefully, well, fingers crossed, we've got discussions, but we are going to host some quiz and entertainment family nights at The Void in Studio One Hotel from Sunday the 23rd of May. More information to follow, but get down there and see us in action.
Yeah, see us live.
It'll probably
That's a
more,
good thing.
there'll be more action than I've got on the cricket field, let me tell you.
Yes, excellent. Okay, Jack, so that is us done and dusted. Beautiful day. Definitely dip in the pool.
Dipping a pool and a cheeky one.
Well, personally, no, because I'm on my antibiotics, but I'll have one of them Heineken Blues.
Heineken Blues it is all about.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed this show. At the end of the day, Jack,
What do we know?